Hello my fellow pilots and welcome again to another episode of Star Citizen FM, episode 65. Star Citizen FM is the longest running fan show in the verse dedicated to bringing you up-to-date information on Star Citizen, the community, and anything else in the verse that might catch your fancy. Star Citizen FM is hosted by yours truly, Dr. Hawk. So join me as we go over some of the tidbits of this week, patch notes, and other relevant information. Today's episode is a special joint episode. Recently, a viewer, and you know who you are, donated an RSI Aurora to me to demonstrate the abilities of how well it's able to tank everybody shooting at it. If you're interested in watching that footage, you can find that at the end of the episode of Star Citizen FM, and I hope that you do view it because it's quite insane the amount of damage that this thing can both tank and deal. In the meantime, let us get on to the first topic at hand. For those of you that are interested in shirts and patches, this is your moment to shine. There's some new shirts and patches available in the RSI store, one of them featuring the Arena Commander logo, and the other one featuring Anvil Aerospace's Hornet. Each of these shirts will set you back about $25, so be sure to check them out. If you also want, you can pick up those patches that were shown in the first screenshot. Those will set you back $19, and that contains the UEE sigil, the Navy logo, and the advocacy. That's an interesting word of the day. Say that 5 times fast. Pick up the advocacy patch for $19. New, improved, and featuring better stitching and iron-on packs. Pick them up today. Now, the big issue of the day is in fact the patch notes. Everybody is waiting for patch 12.5. If you have spent any amount of time in Arena Commander, you know that right now the biggest thing that kills games is the rubber banding, and asterisk a few other issues. They're looking into the rubber banding issue. They actually released a comlink transmission of the Arena Commander patch update. It's not out, but it shows that they're making progress. I'll get to the menial things that the patch will add, but for now I'm going to read what actually causes the rubber banding and various issues that we've experienced so far. In Arena Commander multiplayer, your client is receiving updates from remote clients via the server, and in the case of movement, your local client's IFCS is actually simulating the physics of each remote client that you see based on these updates. Your client is then reporting back to the server all the positional and orientation data for each of the remote clients that you are simulating. The server is authoritatively checking this against its own calculations and those being reported by the remote clients themselves. If there is a divergence in the reported numbers, the server will provide your client with how far it is to the remote client simulations and how far they are off, and inject them into the IFCS physics calculations to nudge the remote clients you see back to their proper positions as they fly. If the divergence becomes too large for IFCS to gently nudge the remote clients, then they are warped to their proper position and the simulation commences again. As we have been investigating this issue, it has all revolved around discovering what is causing the simulations of remote clients to sometimes for some people become so divergent from the server and the remote clients themselves to what the server is forcing a warp. We first investigated potential issues with the game servers by performing some optimizations to load balancing and by reducing the number of servers on a physical machine from 8 to 2, which dramatically increased the network traffic for each machine and reduced CPU pegging, but did not reduce the lag players receiving. It did, however, result in increased stability and minimizes server CPU frame spikes, which will generally improve performance for players across the board. We then approached the situation from a client side, creating a controlled environment in which no one shot any weapons or used any boost, and then began increasing the number of players at a time. Noticing this yielded no lag, we started to introduce more variables into the match. Shooting weapons without hitting any players caused no issue, but once the ships began to fire on each other, lag began to crop up with players skipping around. We were able to reproduce the lag, but we needed a more specific cause, so we attempted to narrow it down. Speaking with the engineering team, they speculated that the power drain caused by firing weapons and absorbing shield impacts could in turn be reducing the available power to thrusters. It was possible that due to lag or CPU spikes, that the amount of power available for thrusters wasn't being properly propagated from the remote client to the server to your machine for your physics simulation to account for. This would cause synchronization of thrusters across players that have been off, causing positional jumping when performing erratic maneuvers. Engineering then armed QA with a version of the game that allows us to have greater control over thrusters so that we could pinpoint the problem. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but the general gist of the problem seems to be that shooting each other is causing the issue. No, well, that's more of a joke, but it was kind of an excuse for me to say stop shooting Hawk. It'll be fun to see this patch rolled out as of currently, and you'll see in the later Aurora footage that I have for you guys, the rubber banding gets fairly horrible sometimes, to the point where some players will not even take damage or register a lock-on. However, credit has to be given to CIG for trying to find the issue and being so open with this development. You can read the whole article on the com link, and you can check them out in the link in the description below. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for this week's episode. I'd like to give some thanks to my Patreon backers as well as the rest of the viewers. The only reason for this is that I'm actually studying fairly hard for the finals that I have coming up this week, so I cannot devote as much time to this particular episode as I usually do. However, you guys will see me back again next week on Star Citizen FM, so make sure to tune in and I'll try to make up for it with another tips and tricks video, and maybe even an Aurora guide based on how much damage that thing can soak. If you're interested in following Dr. Hawk, be sure to subscribe to the fuzzy little hawk on the lower left hand corner, or you can also find me on Facebook as well as Twitch TV. And as mentioned previously, you can also pledge and support on patreon.com, and you can even set a monthly cap if you feel that the pledge is too high. Thanks again for your patience. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and hopefully I won't be brain dead from exams. Be sure to stay tuned in after the outro, and I'll see you guys all next week on Star Citizen FM. This is Dr. Hawk signing off. Take care and fly safe. I'm actually really excited for
radar contact.
Combat mode.
Radar contact.
I am really excited for Resonant Induction by Calclavia, the guy who did Atomic Science. I really like his work.
Target acquired. Target acquired. Flare away.
Go down.
Your assault thrusters firing.
Go up.
Assault thrusters firing.
There's someone behind me, and I don't like this.
Flare away.
Go up.
Stand by.
Assault thrusters firing.
Stand by. Scanning.
Okay, this thing does take some hits.
Flare away.
Sorry,
Enemy
Philo.
down.
Okay, so I'm maneuvering.
Radar contact.
I don't like these reflections on the inner window, but oh well. Front shields.
Reinforcing valve shields.
Okay, you're lucky, Bird. My maneuvering thrusters are shot to hell. You what? Wow, Birdman, really? Come on, man. That's inexcusable. What was that? What cockadoodie bullshit was that? You're better than that. You shouldn't be flying into asteroids. Come on, man.
Scanning.
Okay, and I think we just lost
Radar
Sam.
contact.
Nearest target.
Targeting
Stand by.
nearest hostile.
Scanning.
Stoic, my voice attack profile is contributed by Birdman, as well as a little bit of my own edits. So it's kind of both of ours now, I guess. You see like some controls that I don't, but vice versa. I'll post it here. I have it on my Dropbox. It was pretty funny, Birdman. I was just watching and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna get boom.
Impact.
Go down.
Door assault thrusters firing.
Radar contact.
Front shields.
Reinforcing valve shields.
Go down.
Door assault thrusters firing.
Okay, this thing is a tank. How many rounds have you put into me? There you go. 189 mods. Holy Lord.
Welcome
Combat
to
mode.
Roberts
Respawn
Space Industries.
staff disabled.
Enjoy the ride. System
Nearest target.
check.
Targeting nearest
Radar
hostile.
contact. Stand by. Scanning. Radar contact. Stand by. Scanning.
Lock on.
Flare.
Locking on.
Away.
Attempting
Nearest
to
target.
Targeting
Stand by.
nearest hostile.
Scanning.
Jump jets.
Ventral thrusters firing.
Oh, red out. Shit.
Flare. Away.
Power to shields.
Transferring power to shields.
Enemy down.
Balance shields.
Balancing shields.
Samuel, are you actually in the stream? Go down.
Door assault thrusters firing.
Radar contact.
Overview.
Displaying ship overview.
Balance shields.
Balancing shields.
Radar contact. Engines. Enemy down. Impact. Stand by. Scanning.
Yeah, there is some lag. Zoom in.
Zooming.
Radar contact. Flare. Away.
Okay. Ugh.
Flare.
Power to
away.
weapons.
Transfer and power to weapons.
Flare. Away. Target acquired.
Balance power.
Resetting subsystems to default power profiles.
Power to engines.
Radar contact. Impact.
Oh, whoops. Sorry about the mating.
Enemy down. Impact. Stand by. Scanning. Radar contact. Target acquired.
Lock.
Stand by. Scanning.
Front shields.
Target
Reinforcing
acquired.
valve shields.
Radar contact. Target acquired. Radar contact.
Okay, this isn't actually fair, this ship. He's putting a bunch of rounds into me.
Impact.
Power to weapons.
Transfer and power to weapons.
Power to engines. Nearest target.
Targeting nearest hostile.
Scanning.
Come on. You want to shoot me? I'll shoot you back.
Stand by. Scanning. Radar contact.
Bird, I think you almost just ran me.
Radar contact. Flare away. Flare away.
This thing is a tank.
Alert. Systems over.
There you go. Got me. Combat mode.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries.
Power to engines.
Enjoy the ride. System check. Radar contact. Standby. Scanning. Standby.
Good job, Birdman.
Scanning. Impact.
Lock on.
Locking on.
Target.
Attempting to bind.
Jump jets.
Dental thrusters fired.
Enemy down. Radar.
Power to
contact.
weapons.
Standby.
Transferring
Scanning.
power to weapons.
Chaff. Away.
Nearest
Flare.
target.
Away.
Targeting nearest hostile.
Standby. Scanning. Radar contact. Impact. Flare. Away. Engines. Damaged.
Hey, get out of here, Birdman.
Down.
Oh. Didn't even realize you were shooting me.